Good evening, people of YouTube. We are the Inspire Learning team, and we are live on YouTube tonight, delivering our live launch for our brand new 12 Days of Christmas event. It's a whole package of resources that the whole team have been busy making over the last little while, and we're delighted to share it with you tonight. I am Roddy Graham, one of the lead teachers with the Inspire team, and tonight I am joined by the wonderful Kat Little. Hi, Kat.
Hi everyone, it is so wonderful of you all to join us tonight. Can't wait to share what we've got in store for you.
And we also have Suzanne and Krista with us as well. Hi, Suzanne and Krista.
Hi, we're very excited to be here too.
Absolutely, can't wait to share the things that we've made with everybody that's here tonight.
We will be sharing all of our resources very, very soon, and we're going to get the ladies and myself to tell us all about the exciting things that we've got in plan for the 12 Days of Christmas this year. But what we're going to start with is a little introduction. So the 12 Days of Christmas is a series of resources that you can use. If you scan that QR code that is on screen right now, you will be able to get access to our thing link, where it has got our early years to primary 3 resources, our primary 4 to 7, our secondary school, and our enhanced provision as well. All you need really to access the resources is an iPad. And for some of them, you'll need some Wi-Fi, but you don't need it on every single resource. Some of them just use the inbuilt features of the iPad too. If you don't know very much about Inspire Learning, fear not, because I'm about to tell you just now. So Inspire Learning is our transformative digital program in Scottish Borders, where there are currently 15,000 iPad devices across the authority. We are one-to-one for all teachers, support staff, and ELC staff, as well as primary 4 to S6 pupils. And then there are shared iPads available on a 1:5 ratio for primary 1 to 3. As part of the Inspire program, there are 40 apps available on self-service, and they are there to enhance, improve, and support teaching and learning. It covers a wide geography from east to west in Borders. It takes about 2 hours to travel, and that is 58 primary schools and 9 secondary schools as well. We have a platform through Teams, which is called Schoolhouse, which is where we share CPD opportunities. Some of them we do live like today. Some of them we do face-to-face as well, but we promote them on our Schoolhouse page. And as we often is the case these days, we have an X account, formerly Twitter, which is @InspireSBC. So if you've not already followed us there, please feel free to do so. The roadmap for Inspire looks like so. So it started in 2019 when secondary teachers and secondary pupils were given their one-to-one devices. Primary teachers and P6 and 7 pupils were given theirs during the first lockdown. Primary 4 and 5 pupils followed soon after, before our first set of shared devices, and our ELC staff got theirs as well. And looking on that map that we've got in front of us, in 2021, that was the start of our first journey with 12 Days of Christmas. So we had our first resources in 2021, which were for 3 groups of pupils. We had primary, we had secondary, and we had enhanced provision as well. Then last year, 2022, we came back for the second version of 12 Days of Christmas with a whole bunch of new resources for the same year groups. And we are delighted this year to say that the trilogy is going to be complete. So just like Toy Story and The Godfather, 12 Days of Christmas with Inspire, the trilogy is now complete because we now have a wonderful 12 Days of Christmas, which is out today. The first set of resources went out this morning at 8 o'clock, and we already have schools all over the Borders and Scotland who have been using them today. So we are going to tonight share all of the resources with you. We're going to go through them one by one, and then we're going to show you some of the videos that go alongside them for one per year group. Okay? So if you are on the YouTube live tonight, then please feel free to share any questions or comments that you've got. You can leave them in the live chat, and we'll hopefully display some as we go through tonight's event. So if you've anything to ask the team, you can ask us away, or if you've any comments about anything that you see, feel free to share those with us. And if you're on social media, we have our hashtag Inspire Christmas, and you can post all about our resources as we go through. But that is quite enough from me tonight so far. So I'm going to hand you over to Krista, who is going to go through our first set of resources this year, and that is for early years to primary 3. So it's over to you, Krista.
Thanks very much, Roddy. I think Roddy's going to pop up the first slide for us. And so the first activity we've got, which some of our schools have already done today, is our Day 1 snowman using markup. And in this app, they use the Photos app, and it was made by Miss Douglas. So thank you very much to her for doing that for us. Tomorrow, we've got a colour by numbers. Now, when we had our sneaky peek look on Friday, I know a few of our ELC staff were really excited to get to use this one with their pupils. Again, it's using the Photos app, and once again, it was Miss Douglas who has contributed this. For day 3, we're going to look at writing a symmetrical snowflake. This is using the Sketches app and was contributed by Mr. Graham. Next up, we've got day 4. We've got Christmas word collage. This time we're using Keynote, and this was contributed by Mrs. Purvis. Day 5, we use the camera app to take upon the winter dress up challenge. And it was Mrs. Johnson who contributed this one, and I believe there's quite a tight time to beat. So I wonder if anybody will manage to beat that this year. Day 6, we have Elf Yourself, and that's using, once again, the Photos app, and this was contributed by Mrs. Ainsley. For day 7, we've got something a little bit different. This is our Christmas sign-along, contributed by Mrs. Smith and using the camera app once again. Day 7, we've got our 12 Days of Christmas. This is using Keynote and was made by the amazing Mrs. Craig. Day 9, we've got a patterned present, once again using Keynote, and this was made by Mrs. Little. For day 10, we've got a penguin animation using Sketches Schools, and this was made by Mrs. Pritchard. Day 11, we've got Draw a Festive Gnome, once again using Sketches, and again contributed by Mrs. Pritchard. And for our final activity for our early years to primary 3, we're going to be trying to draw a symmetrical bauble, once again using Sketches Schools. And I think Mrs. Pritchard's been very busy because it's now the 3rd one that she's made for us. We're very lucky. We've got a couple of bonus things that you can do. We've got GarageBand for the early years, which Mrs. Banks has kindly done for us. And a Christmas songboard using voice memos and freeform, once again by Mrs. Banks.
Excellent. So what we're now going to do is we're going to have a little look at one of those in full, and that is going to be Mrs. Pritchard's gnome drawing. So we're going to have a little look at that just now, and then we're going to find out all about that. So enjoy this first preview video.
In this activity, you are going to learn how to draw a festive gnome. And all you need to do this is have the Sketches School app. Start by opening up the Sketches School app on your iPad and click the plus button to start a new project. Select your favourite drawing tool from the left-hand side. I'm going to choose the marker, which is the 3rd one down. Then you can change the size of the marker by clicking the circles on the right-hand side, and change the colour of the marker by clicking the square in the bottom corner of the screen. I've chosen black for my outline. To start your drawing, draw a wide oval in the centre of the screen. This is going to be our gnome's nose. Next, you're going to draw a long curvy line that goes just over the top of your oval. This is going to be the base of our hat. Connect your lines so that you have a floppy hat shape. Underneath our hat and nose, we need to draw a beard. You could have a spiky beard or a curly beard. I'm going to use this round shape to build up the beard for my gnome. Now we need to draw in the body. Start on one side of the beard and draw a big curved line all the way around to the other side. Add 2 semicircles at the bottom for some feet, and then you can add in any other details you like pockets or hands and arms. Finally, draw a wee curved line underneath the nose to give your gnome a smile. Now you've finished the outline of your gnome, it's time for you to use your creativity skills to decorate him. I'm going to add a brim and a bobble to his hat, and then add some stripy lines which I can fill in different colours. You could colour in your gnome using any of the drawing tools. If you want to fill large areas, select the Fill tool that looks like a roller and change the colour by using the coloured square in the bottom right corner of the screen. Tap on the area that you want and it will fill with the colour you have chosen. Fill in each area until your gnome is completely coloured in. If you want to, you could also add in other accessories or a background. When you're happy with your image, press the 3 dots at the top of the screen, then press the Export button and click Save Image to save your gnome to your photo library. Try experimenting with different colours and shapes to create some unique gnomes. We hope you enjoyed trying this activity, and from everybody at Inspire Learning, we wish you a very Merry Christmas.
Now, you may well get a little bit sick by that music by the end of tonight, but it's a good wee festive wee jingle to get you in the mood. That was our early years to primary 3 resources. Next up, we're going to share our primary 4 to 7, and I'm going to hand over to Kat to introduce you to those ones.
Thank you, Roddy. So to start us off on day 1, we have Draw a Penguin, again created by the very talented Mrs. Pritchard using Sketches School. In this activity, your students will learn to draw a simple penguin, and then will they use their creative and digital skills to add clothing and accessories to their penguin and then export it. On day 2, we have a simple activity using your school's free microbits. Ask in your school where yours are if you've not used them before. You're going to use the microbit and microbit app to code a snowflake. On day 3, we have a keynote activity to create a digital snow globe. More on this one in just a minute. On day 4, this time we're using the Clips app and the poster feature to create a simple yet effective video of your students reciting a Christmas or winter poem. Students will record their voice onto an animated poster and can even add some background music. On day 5, we have Christmas word animations. Here, we use Keynote to add a surprise animation to festive text. Back to sketches again on day 6 with a stained glass image activity. Here, your students will discover how to create a stained glass image in the Sketches app using the Fill feature. A stained glass image is required for this, but there are several easy options on how to get this before your class begin. And you can pause the video so students can take a screenshot, or you can download them directly either by scanning the QR code in the video or clicking the link. On day 7, your students will create a Christmas cookbook using the Pages app. Again, a little preparation is required here as they will need a recipe to insert and edit. They could look online or you could supply one for them to use. Day 8 uses Keynote to make a 3D winter scene GIF. This activity makes use of the app's new 3D image features to create 3D winter scene GIFs or a Christmas message. Again, there is a QR code embedded in the video which takes you to resources for this. On day 9, we are using Scratch Lab online to design a Christmas hat or accessory. Students will use block code and AI face recognition in Scratch Lab to create and then wear their designs. Day 10's activity is the catchily titled Around the World in 80 Sleighs. Thank you, Mr. Graham, for that one. Here you will use the Keynote app to create a world map of interesting Christmas facts and an animated sleigh which travels around them. Great activity to encourage a little research and learning about different countries and cultures. On day 11, we have Christmas charts. Here your students will learn how to use the Numbers app to create Christmas-themed charts or graphs. Good for encouraging a little data handling and learning skills that can be used in future activities or presentations, as all of our 12 days activities can. And finally, on day 12, we have a snowman augmented reality activity. This is using the AR Maker app, and students will create their very own AR snowman, which they can then have their photo or video taken with. Don't forget to check out the bonus activities. So we have an accessibility Christmas quiz created by Mrs. Smith. And we have a Scratch Hokey Cokey, and that's using Scratch Junior. And we also have a Christmas deck game. So lots of activities. Oh, and one more, Christmas repeating patterns using Keynote. So lots and lots of things there. And also another repeating patterns one, which is doing some markup on photo. My goodness, there's lots of activities. Here's another, this is the last one, definitely. Christmas Around the World by Mrs. Douglas. So thank you for all our contributors to the P4 to 7 thing link. So as before, we're going to take a sneaky peek at one of the activities, and the one we're going to look at is Day 3's Digital Snow Globe by Mrs. Holiday.
We're actually not. We've changed it at the last minute. We're going to have a little look at the microbit one instead, just because this video is slightly shorter in length for the live stream. Okay, you can still get the full package on the thing link, but we're going to have a little look at the microbit one instead tonight. So here's the microbit one. Enjoy.
You plug in the white plug into the sockets, and it will show you the code that the last person has put into the microbit. It'll always remember the last bit of code, so you can see or hear that. To turn it off, hold the reset button on the back for 5 seconds. So hold it down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will make your microbit quiet and ready to use. Today we're going to use the LED display, which is the 25 little lights on the front.
So we're going to open the Microbits app, which is the one with the green background and the little eyes. Click on Create Code. And then if you've got a project already open, click on the little home at the top, and that will bring you through to this screen. If you didn't go straight through to this, click on the purple new project, type in our title, Snowflake, and click Create. This takes us through to our canvas, so we are ready to start. When you go in, you start with the 2 loop blocks. We only need the forever one, so click on the on start and drag it to the left of the screen and it will go. We are using the LEDs, so if you go into basics, find the blank LED block, lock it into your forever loop block, and then draw your snowflake. Be creative. Once we have done this, this is saying that we want our microbit to show the snowflake, but we only want it to show it for a while, so we're going back into basics, moving down to pause, and we're just going to lengthen it a little, tap on it and change that to 200. We want our snowflake to flash, so we're going back in the basics and pulling out a blank LED display. We're adding that pause on again, keeping it at 100. And now we're going to download that by clicking on the purple download button at the bottom left. We are telling our microbit to show our snowflake, pause with a blank screen, and then show our snowflake again.
And then get your microbit and tap the reset button 3 times until the lights flash and you get a symbol that looks a little bit like a graph on the LED display. You might need to try a couple of times. Then press continue on the screen. If the pattern shown doesn't match what's on the screen, then click My Microbit has a different pattern. You're then going to draw the pattern that's shown on your microbit onto the screen. So they should match up all the boxes. Then click Next. Tap Next to pair your microbit with the iPad and they will connect up together. It might ask you to press pair on the screen as well. Make sure you say yes to this. You might find that if you can't pair it, you have to go to settings and turn Bluetooth on for microbit. After this, it will send the code from the iPad to the microbit via Bluetooth.
Once you have downloaded it, a tick will come on your microbit and then you'll see your flashing snowflake. Enjoy!
There you have it. There's our second calendar of resources that we've got for you. We're now going to move on to secondary schools, and I'm going to hand to Suzanne for this one. If anyone fancies sharing anything in the comments, feel free to do so. Let us know what you think of the 2 activities that we've shared in full and the 24 that we've shared to you in our little preview so far. So, Suzanne, over to you to find out about secondary schools resources.
Thank you very much, Roddy. So you might see a couple of activities that we've already seen, starting off with our festive gnome, because a lot of these activities can be used across different ages and stages. So day 1 is drawing a festive gnome. It's a draw along activity in the Sketches app. Day 2 is using Scratch Junior to utilize the facial recognition tools and use some block coding to add some festive clothing to yourself or your friends. Day 3, we're looking at repeated patterns in Keynote, so you can create repeating patterns that you might want to add to a festive jumper or maybe some wrapping paper. Day 4 is using Procreate. So the Procreate app has different features that you can utilize to create some beautiful stained glass drawings. And we have all the resources that you need to complete pictures like this built into the one video. So you can scan the QR code to get template images, and you can create your own color palette using an image of a stained glass picture that you like. Day 5 is using Keynote again to create some digital snow globes. So utilize your digital and creative skills to create some snowy scenes inside a snow globe. Day 6, we're using AR Maker to create an augmented reality snowman. You can then take a picture of your snowman in your classroom or next to you and your friends and take a video or a photograph and export that to your iPad. Day 7 is our Christmas cookbook. So utilizing the different resources that are in Pages. So adding different types of text and media to create your own bespoke Christmas cookbook. And day 8 is using Keynote again, but this time using the animation features. So utilizing the animation tools to first of all draw a penguin and then animate it skating up and down. Also looking at cloning different images so that you can have your penguin skating with an identical friend. Day 7 is using the Deck Toys app to create an interactive quiz that you can use to test your knowledge. We've got one here, which we'll show you an example of in a minute, that tests your knowledge of Christmas. Day 10 is creating a 3D Christmas scene or GIF. So you can use the new 3D features that are built into Keynote to create your own 3D images and export it to your iPad. Day 11, again, using animation in Keynote, so you can create some festive messages to send to friends and family, create your image and animate it to create a small video or GIF. And then finally, day 12, utilizing the symmetry tools in Sketches and using the different types of digital drawing tools and fill tools to create a decorative symmetrical bauble. Okay, now we're going to have a look at, oh, sorry, we've got a couple of bonus activities. So we've got an accessibility Christmas quiz to teach you about some of the accessibility tools that are on your iPad. And do we have another bonus activity? No, I think that's the only bonus activity we've got. So one bonus activity for secondary, what we're going to do now is have a look at one of the examples from the secondary catalogue, and we are going to have a look at the Deck Toys game. So here you'll see how an interactive quiz can be created quickly to test knowledge and understanding in your classroom.
Hello and happy Christmas. Today we're going to play a Christmas quiz in a fun way. The first thing you need to do is to scan the QR code that your teacher will have put on the screen, just like that. Once you've scanned the QR code, you need to sign in as a guest student. Enter your name and press OK. Now that's your Christmas quiz starting. It is a race. You need to finish it as soon as possible. In order to do this, you need to click on Start here and then start your activities. The first one is a match-up activity. If you click on it, you'll need to answer a question. You'll need to enter a word in order to access the activity. So you've got a hint. What comes after Mary? It is Christmas. Once your activity is unlocked, you just need to do it and do the same for all of them. Once you get to the final stage, you can show your teacher. Good luck and happy Christmas again.
Okay, so we've had a look at our early years to primary 3, we've looked at primary 4 to 7, and we've looked at our secondary one as well. So our final resource that we've got for you is for our enhanced provision pupils, and it is a bit of a best of the rest of the activities that we've seen, as well as some bespoke ones for pupils in our enhanced provisions. So on day 1, we have the Winter Dress Up Challenge by Miss Johnson, which uses the camera app to film a pupil dressing up for winter as quickly as they possibly can. So hats, scarves and gloves at the ready. Day 2 is building a snowman. That's Miss Douglas's activity using the camera markup tool. So you have your background and then you draw your snowman on top of it using the markup tools and shapes that are there. On day 3, we have Mrs. Ainsley's one, which is Elf Yourself with markup. So again, using the camera tool and markup and drawing on the different parts of the elf outfit. And if you want, you can draw a little snowman like is shown on screen as well. Day 4 is the one that we're going to have a little look at the end of our session tonight, and that is the Christmas Side Along by the wonderful Mrs. Smith. That is one that you can play on your iPad and then learn different Christmas sign along acronyms. Day 5 is Christmas Repeating Patterns. So that is by Mrs. Little. That is where you are creating a pattern on Keynote and then filling it in on either a jumper or a present to showcase it on the shape. So again, Keynote for that one, and it's Christmas Repeating Patterns. Our day 6 resource is by myself. It is writing a symmetrical snowflake. So you're thinking of some wintry words. I put Christmas and snow on mine, and then using the markup options using Sketchy Schools to draw your symmetrical snowflake. Day 7 is again by Mrs. Little, which is patterned presents. So it's similar to the jumper one where you're creating the pattern, but this time you're popping it onto a present to give away to someone. Day 8 is our colour by numbers one, where we're using the markup tool in photos to colour the picture in the certain colours that are listed. All the resources for this are part of the thing link, so you can download these for your iPad and use them straight away. Day 9 is our accessibility Christmas quiz, which is using the dictation tool on Pages or Notes or any other iPad app that uses the keyboard with dictation. And instead of typing your answers in, you voice them with the dictation tool, so that is how you're providing your answers. Day 10 is called Special Bites. It's a certain website on the app, and it's one that Miss Douglas has contributed for us, and it is where you are using special touch features on the iPad in order to locate different Christmas activities. Day 11 is one called Tar Heel Reader by Mrs. Smith, and that is one where you're able to listen to Christmas related novels, and they are read out aloud to you when you're on the website. So Tar Heel Reader for that one. And our final one is Book Creator for Reading, where you can scan in pages of a book, you can record yourself reading them as the teacher potentially, and then have the pupils either listening to it or maybe reading it out themselves and recording that way. So different ways of using Book Creator for Christmas books. But like we were saying, we're going to share with you the side along video just now. So sit back, get your hands at the ready, and feel free to join in with some Christmas sign along.
Today we're going to try some Christmas sign-along. Sign-along is a type of sign language which might be used by some people in your school. It's similar to Macaton, used by Mr. Tumble, but not exactly the same. Some of the signs are a bit different. When you're doing sign along, try and follow the hand shapes as closely as possible. If you can, say the word as well as signing it. Each sign will be played 3 times. Teachers, it would be great to pause after each sign to give your class a chance to practice. The first sign is Christmas. 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 The next sign is fairy lights. Fairy lights. Fairy lights. Fairy lights. The next sign is decorations. 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 The next sign is snow. Snowing. 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 The next sign is snowball. 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 The next sign is Christmas card. Christmas cards. Christmas cards. Christmas cards. The next sign is Christmas tree. Christmas tree. Christmas tree. Christmas tree. The next sign is reindeer. 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 Reindeer.
Okay, wonderful stuff there from Miss Smith with our sign along actions. If you scan the QR code that is on screen now, you can access our full range of resources via our Thing Link resource. So scan that QR code, or you can visit the links. We've posted them on Twitter quite a lot today on Inspire SBC, and you can let us know which one is your favorite as well. I'm going to just very quickly bring back onto the screen Suzanne and Krista, as well as Kat too. Suzanne, Krista, which of the activities that we've been sharing tonight are you most looking forward to using in the classrooms in the next little while?
Do you know, I think I'm most looking forward to using the AR Maker because that's quite a new, exciting app, and I've not used it with a class before yet. So I think this will be a really good way to introduce them to it, and myself as well, of course.
Nice one. Good. Suzanne, what about you?
I like all the arty ones, so I like the ones that are in Procreate and Sketches and allow a bit of creativity in the classroom. But I also like all the animation aspects that we've got coming from Keynote and the new features that are in Keynote that let us be a wee bit more creative using our digital skills.
Brilliant. And Kat, what about yourself?
Like Suzanne, I like the animation ones in Keynote, so I'm looking forward to the snow globe one, which we didn't get to share, and the 3D snowman in the winter scene there. So I think those will be my my two favourites, but you never know. I like to try everything out. I've already been having a go at some of the sign language with Mrs. Smith there, and had a go at deck toys as well, following the instructions from Miss Buffy. So it all looks fabulous, and I've even got my 12 Days of Christmas jumper on today.
See that? I don't know what I've got on top of here. They're meant to be standing up, but they're quite clearly not. So that's just the way that things go. I think the one for me that I'm looking most forward to is the microbit one. I think a lot of our schools have microbits, but are maybe a little unsure on how to use them. I think that's a very easy way to get them out of the boxes for the first time and into people's hands. And I think I'm right in saying that you have until December the 18th to register your schools for them if you're a UK-based school. So feel free to fill in that link on the BBC Microbit site, and you can get those up and running. Right, that's just about all that we have time for tonight with this wonderful live launch that we've had. We hope that you found it useful. We hope that you are going to enjoy our resources that we've made. We'll be posting them on Twitter daily as well, so you'll not miss out if you follow us on our social media platform. Just a wee plug as well, on Wednesday night, we have another wee webinar that we're hosting, this time on iPad Pedagogy of Play. So if you would like to find out more about the thinking behind this new and exciting guide, which takes you through how to introduce the appropriate use of iPads in early level settings and anywhere that play pedagogy is in action, you can join myself and Kirsty Banks for that on Wednesday night. It's at 6:30 to 7:30 UK time. Scan that QR code to join and set yourself a wee reminder, or just come onto our Inspire Learning page and we'll get that there and then for you. We've had a wee comment as well in from someone on our YouTube channel tonight saying that they really appreciate the work that's gone into the presentation. Well done. You are more than welcome. Thank you very much for dropping that into the chat as well. And we hope that you find the resources really, really useful. We also, in the Inspire team, have a brand new newsletter out, which is called Inspire Insights. So if you scan that QR code, you can add yourself to our monthly mailing list and you'll find out all the latest from our Inspire Learning program. They go out at the end of every month, so you'll get yours probably on New Year's Eve this year. And also, as we've mentioned a couple of times already, if you aren't already following us on X, formerly Twitter, then our handle there is @InspireSBC, and we'd love to see you following us there and also sharing anything that you've got in terms of Inspire Christmas this year, so that you can share what your pupils have been up to and let us see the wonderful work that they produce. So, massive thanks from myself, from Suzanne, from Krista, and from Kat as well. Thank you very much for watching. We really hope that you enjoy Inspire Christmas. Please share with the hashtag Inspire Christmas. And who knows, we might be back this time next year sharing our newest one there. Okay? Thank you very much for your time. We'll leave that on screen for the last couple of minutes. But from myself, from Suzanne, Krista, and Kat, thank you very much. And have a lovely Christmas when it comes.